Hello and welcome to the Trench Mob Show. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I would like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon Partners, they are one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, retirement planning. And Sean Rabinowitz is the president, proud supporter of Husky Talk. And he is going to get me a Tesla very soon. We also have Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump. They specialize in tax plans for businesses. They will put together a tax plan that will save you money. Or in other cases, they will get you a big fat return. To schedule your free tax strategy planning session, all you have to do is go to greenstreettrust.com and schedule a free consultation with Rennell and his team. We have Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm. If you've had any type of personal injury, if you've suffered a slip and fall, if a beam hit you at a construction site, if your mother in law tried to run you over with her car, the Finch firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all over the state of Connecticut. He's based out of Bridgeport. He's not scared of any insurance company. He will go to war for you and get every cent you deserve. All you have to do is go to thefinchfirm.com. You can see his services and also book a consultation with him as well. We have Dynamic Human Performance, owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. In Hartford, Connecticut, he has a 5,000 square foot facility, state of the art. He trains boys and girls of all ages, of all sports. He has just implemented an athletic development program where he will focus on the sport of your need or the sport that you want to become great in. He will train you from the ground up and he will make sure that you have success. Andre has also sent kids to Division One programs as well, and he is doing a phenomenal job. All you have to do is go. They offer also many classes throughout the day. All you have to do is go to dynamichumanperformance.com to see all the services they offer. And now for the man of the hour, Mr. Julius Williams and his crew joining us today. We have Brandy and we have Coach Chris, the offensive line coach. Thank you guys all for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yes, yes. And you guys have a camp coming up on Sunday, and it's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal. A lot of excitement about it, a lot of buzz about it. Getting a lot of comments, a lot of questions about it. You've done, a great job promoting it. It is now going to be starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, Julius. Just tell everyone where exactly it's going to be and what time registration is.
All right. So originally we were having a camp at Central Gwinnett High School, which is in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Due to the forecast, saying that it's going to be a 75% chance of rain, we decided to move it inside. We got 4-star, 5-star, 3-star guys, coming from as far as California, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, Connecticut, different places. So the last thing we wanted to do was get someone hurt, coming
Yeah,
out there,
exactly.
to be a part of an extracurricular activity. which is a 5v5 camp. So we decided to move it to IVSA. Good friend of mine, Steve McClendon, 13-year NFL player. He won a Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Wow.
with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they brought Tom Brady in. So we're going to be there. It's out in Flowery Branch, Georgia.
Probably.
It's called Infinite Vision Sports Academy. It's going to be a great time. We got 12 different teams, organizations that are committed to come out. Lots of other guys that are what we call renegades that are not a part of a team. They can come out and be assigned to a team. So it's going to be a great event, man. If you're not registered yet, there is still plenty of room. If you're a team that wants to get registered, you can definitely go to our website, battleupthetrenches.com. You
Yep.
click on the Trench Mob link. You'll get out there and get registered, and it's going to be a great event. We're going to start it at 9. We'll end around 1.
Right. We had a couple of questions about the 5v5 format. Can you explain a little bit how that works? Because several people asked exactly how the 5v5 format works in a tournament style.
Right, for sure, man. So anybody that's ever played at the college level, or pro level, they understand what one-on-one pass rush is. So there's basically 5 O linemen, 5 D linemen for people who haven't ever played football. So you have a center, you have 2 guards and 2 tackles. Then you have a nose guard. You have 2 D tackles, which are in a 3 technique, which means they're right outside of the guards.
Oh, so
Um,
you cover the center. You put a guy head
yeah,
up
we
right
cover
over
the
the
center. Yeah, well, the guys can kind of
shade.
make up where they want to be. So you got
Yeah.
guys that'll cover the center, and then you have other guys, that'll want to be in a 1 technique or loose 1, or even a 2 out, depending on where they want to be. And then you have the edges, that line up in either tight 5s or loose 5s or go 7s or
You
whatever
give them
outside
the
the tackles.
freedom to align as wide or as tight as they want.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't like guys in ghost 9s,
Yeah.
but they can definitely get into a ghost 7 or a loose 5, and some guys they like to be lined up tight. I prefer, if I had to choose, I would prefer a guy to be in the ghost 7,
Yeah,
just to give them
I
a little bit
agree.
of room. But most of these guys they line up how they're comfortable, and as long as they're winning reps, I give those guys a little bit of freedom.
Coach Chris, you're an offensive line guy. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so well, collegiately I played at Grambling, and then I finished up my career over at Winston-Salem State. Um, Throughout my career, man, I was blessed to be a part of 2 great HBCU teams.
Yeah.
Um, so of course, at Grambling, I ended up winning the Black College National Championship. And then at Winston-Salem State, I was part of one of the greatest HBCU teams there ever was. We
Wow.
ended up losing went to the Division II national championship and losing to Valdosta State. So, but I was a part of those 2 teams. 2-time All-American, Black College All-American, HBCU All-American. So I think I had a pretty good career. I think so.
I'd say so. I'd say so.
Very good.
And how long have you been in coaching?
So I finished up. I graduated about 2014. I actually started teaching around 2016. So I've been in coaching so around about 2016, 2017.
Was Doug Williams the head coach at Grambling when you were there?
He came back the second time the year I went to Winston-Salem.
Oh, okay.
He was
Okay.
always a big part, and of course, he's a legend at Grambling, and he always
Yes,
cut around. But he came back officially the year I left. I was under Coach Rod Broadway at
I
Grambling.
got you. I got you. So I'm gonna ask you, and you can unofficially answer this question. What were your thoughts when Coach Prime came to Jackson State?
um, Definitely, it's a great shine on HBCUs. Like
Yeah.
we don't necessarily get the credit for having great talent, and I think Coach Prime really brought that light to definitely the SWAC. I'm not really a Jackson State fan, but
I wouldn't imagine you would be being from Grambling. No.
right. But I appreciate him bringing light to HBCU life, and he pretty much started a trend because now you see everybody else is doing the same thing. You see Michael Vick at Norfolk and
Yep.
Deshaun Jackson at Delaware. So I will give him to it. He does. He definitely started a trend, bringing attention to HBCUs. So
Yeah. Yeah. And, they had been underappreciated for a while, and it's good to see them back to where they belong. And is it, is there a final bowl game they plan? Is it like the Heritage Bowl? Is there something that they plan at the end of the year?
it's called a Celebration Bowl. So it's
Celebration Bowl. Okay.
yeah. So the big time where the D1 programs that are of course be the SWAC and the MEAC, they always battle it out in the Celebration Bowl. I think that in Atlanta every year. So I think South Carolina State won it last year. Well, this year in January. Well, December when
Okay.
they had it. So
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. So we are going to get in to looking at some film and some of the talent that you guys have that's going to be appearing. Most of these are the 2026 kids, I believe. Um, so Julius, who are we looking at right here?
All right. So this is Amarie Balazar. So we call him
Salazar. Okay,
we call him Freak Nasty Bo. Um,
that's a great.
and you'll get a chance to see why we call him Freak Nasty Bo when he gets going. He's a guy full of energy. To be honest with you, he's undersized. Being the reason why he's not a big time recruit at center right now. But
Oh, okay.
but
Because
he
he
can
was
go.
listed as an OLDL guy, right? And
Yeah.
was
So
he the one at 250?
he's right at 6 feet.
Yeah,
Maybe closer, 260, 270. But
260,
he's
270.
definitely a hell of a player, man, and somebody who has been a staple in our program for the last couple of years. And I can't wait to see what he does, in the next coming
Great job
years.
right there. That's a great job. Coach Chris, I coached the offensive line at Holy Cross. I always preferred a shorter center. I just felt that, but being able to bend, snap, and step. If you're taller, you're bending lower. Sometimes you struggle to get that first step in the ground. What is your preference as far as a center goes?
um, definitely it kind of helps at the center if you're not 6'8", but
Right.
it's really about your flexibility to me. Like if you
Being
can
able
get
to
out your
bend.
stance and move,
Yeah.
because if you look at some of the guys, I think like Jason Kelsey he's almost 6'5", so
Yep.
he's not a
Yep.
small human being by no stretch, but his flexibility, I think that's what kind of sets him apart.
Yeah. Yeah. Being able to bend, having those good hips, not
Yeah,
playing straight
definitely.
legged. All that's huge. And then the biggest thing is having a center and the versatility that comes with it,
Hmm.
because so many teams need a center. And if you're able to play down the line, center or center guard tackle, that definitely increases your value and your chances of getting an offer. So I think
Definitely.
that's big. I really like everything I see here. He's got good hand placement, really nasty. I like the set right off the bat. That's a great job with his set, having the fast feet.
Yeah.
Pop,
I
pop,
like
and then I love how you teach the throwdown on the bull rush, because that makes a difference. Once that happens once, you're not going to be getting bulled. Chris, is that something that you like to teach centers once they recognize that they're getting bulled, to
uh
just toss them?
yeah, definitely. I tell them, as soon as you feel that pressure like that
Yeah.
trying to get your hands to your inside, that means they got to lean on you a little bit, so their momentum is off. So that just get their hands down and kind of snatch them down. It kind of works against they counterbalance, I guess you
Yeah.
call it, and it kind of gives them all balance. So that's definitely a good trick. And like you said, you do that a couple times,
They
you'll
ain't
be
gonna be
hesitant
cold.
to bull rush again the next couple times.
I'm coming right back, man.
I like Man, I love his set. I just love his set. I don't when I coached the centers, I never liked them to give up ground, just
Hmm.
because if you give up a yard or two, and you get someone that picks a side and rips, they're getting upfield, they're getting in the quarterback's face, and now you got to run them by. I like his set because he is tight. He's really setting on the inside number, and he's not giving ground. And then again, snatch, party's over, and the belly flop to add an exclamation point. I love it. This kid has incredible instincts and recognition for what he's getting as a pass rush. And that is definitely not easy to teach, especially now. This is a 2026 kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. As young as he is, to be able to recognize the pass rush he's getting, that is definitely not easy to do. He's got good hand placement, good redirect, good fight. That's really exceptional effort. Everything he's doing, I like.
And the
I
thing
like
that I like about
this
Bo,
area.
man, is like most teams on the circuit,
Yeah,
they have big ass nose guards.
of
You
course
know what
they
I
do.
mean?
Right.
So it's like with him not being a huge guy, like I think I sent you his film from Maryland too. Like you'll see, like he goes against giants like week
Yes.
to week. And he shuts all of these guys down. He doesn't care if you're 5'10" or 6'10". Bo is not afraid to
No
jump in
fear.
there and get nasty.
Well, that comes from his coaching. You take on the attitude of your coach. So your coach showing no fear, he's going to have no fear. And what I like is Coach Chris. I know Coach Harris too. They trust in the technique that you're teaching them, and when they trust in the technique, that gives them confidence. They believe in themselves, and they're going to go out with an attitude and play hard and play to win, and that makes a huge difference. Even there, I mean, he had the outside, he shut it right down. I just love how he stays in front of him. I love his pad
Definitely.
level. I love his hand placement. He gets his hand knocked down, he puts it right back in. I mean, nobody's getting by him. Nobody's look at that. That's just wow. That's just man strength right there. I mean, this guy had everything going for him, and he just shut him down.
And man,
Great job.
and when he first came, man, he didn't have any confidence. I mean, his grandfather, Mr. David Johnson, he helps us out a lot, man. He
Yep.
tells us all the time, like, Bo is a different person, you know, than when he first came to Trench Mile. We took him to California. When was that? What year was that, Chris? That was like 2022, and he was,
Yeah.
he was scared shitless, man. He didn't know what to do,
He was a rookie.
Was he a center all along, or did you teach him how to snap and put him there?
So
he's always played center. Go
yeah,
ahead,
he's
Bubba.
always played center.
Okay. The other question that was asked was when you're doing this tournament style, 5v5, does somebody point to who's up, or do you go directly down the line? That was another question that was asked.
We go down the line.
You go down the line, okay.
Yeah, so each person gets 2 reps, and we just go down until everybody goes down the line, and then after that we'll flip, and the offense to come off the field and defense to come off the field, and then we'll bring in some new guys and go and repeat the same process.
And how many rounds total do these guys go?
So it's a timer. So we have a running clock. I think
Yes, it's a
15
running
minutes.
clock. Okay.
Yeah. So as many reps as we can get into the 15 minutes. So like you'll be hearing the coaches on the sideline saying we'll get the 5 minute run, and you'll hear hair, like run, speed up. Let's get these reps in. Let's get as many reps as we can. So
Oh, I got you. I
so
got
it's also a little strategy involved with it as well.
you. Okay, so this is a right guard. What's this player's name?
So that's Bo as well. I think that's Bo from Maryland, I believe. So he played
Oh,
Maryland
okay.
sometimes too.
I got you. Wow. Okay. 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 Jeez. He did.
Freak
Wow.
nasty Bo.
Yes, sir.
Just a big body. Wow. Wow. You're right. I mean, he's going against bigger players, better
Mhm.
talent, and man, he's fighting his ass off in there.
Yeah, you gotta get around every part of him. He stays square the whole time.
I mean, okay, that time he jumped a little bit on his set, but he had a great finish. I mean, and that's just all effort and energy being able to do that. Because I do like the jump set. I like mixing it up in the jump set because a lot of guys don't expect it, and he did have it here. He just turned his shoulders, but then he turned. Then this is exactly what you want, Coach Chris. I remember, when
Get
this
on that
happens,
hip.
you want to turn it into a dry block and just cave it all in, and that's exactly what he tried to do there. God, that's
There we
just.
go.
I
That's
mean,
it.
that's just man strength right there. That is just absolute man strength that he's able to shut this down.
Yeah, Bo dog, man. Bo can play at any level, man. I hope that.
Does he have anything going for him right now?
Yeah, so he has a few offers, man.
He does. Okay.
But I just hope, I mean, it's a blessing to get an offer at any level.
Yeah, of course.
But I know that he's definitely a guy, that can play Division I football. I know he's hopeful.
And he's got a lot of time. That's a great set right
Yeah,
there.
man, Bo's a beast, man. Hey, Bo, he's fearless, man. He battles with, our highest rated guys every weekend in practice, and he can block those guys. So I know when he goes to the next level, he's definitely gonna be somebody, that's gonna be, you can count on to be a dog and get in there and fight for sure.
Coach Chris, the one thing I see that I really like is these guys that are going up against them, they just quit. I mean,
Mm.
they rush for half a second and they see their beat and they just shut it down. They go back.
Yeah. And that's one good thing about we got some competitors. Like
Yes.
we
Great
have
job
some
on the
competitors. We got people, high motor kids that just want to get after it.
that's really good right there. That's really good. The guy tried the quick swim right off the bat. He shut it down. Here, wow, that's really good.
Textbook.
He's patient with his hands. He's not reaching. He's got a good punch, and then he's the king of the belly flop. I love it too. When you win, you got to throw in the belly flop. That's just your victory lap. That's just your victory lap. Wow, I mean he is super talented, and I think he is going to go places. Um, Tell me a little bit about the school that he plays at.
So he's at the Loop High School
Oh,
in
he's at
Duluth, Georgia.
Duluth. Okay,
Yep.
that's the
So
one.
there's a school you heard about earlier. They beat a team 90-0
Yes.
this year, man. So I mean they got pretty good guys. Coach Dirk, their O line coach is really, really involved with us, and allows us to use their facilities, and so he's definitely a great player.
Are there certain schools that you obviously have more kids from than others? What would you say is your biggest school right now that sends you the most kids?
Um, Honestly, man, we have an even mix. I
It
mean,
is a
we
pretty
got
even mix.
yeah. So
Mhm.
we got guys from Duluth, of course. That's where we're hosted at. We got a good amount of guys from Brookwood High School. We got South Gwinnett High School,
Right.
Gainesville High School, which is a powerhouse in Georgia. You know, our left
For
tackle Bryson
sure.
Hurt, who we saw earlier, he comes from Gainesville. Um, yeah, good representation, man. Well, Buford, um, you know, we've had guys from Grayson. We got a couple guys, Columbia High School. You know,
Yes.
we probably on our team we have at least 10 to 12 schools, if not more, represented. That's a great thing. It's
Wow.
like a melting pot of the different schools or organizations.
And you don't ever catch flack from other high school coaches about, working with their kids or what they're teaching, or, they do they still go to their off-season high school workouts and then work with you, or do they strictly work with you?
Well, they go to the high school workouts. I mean, the thing about
They
us is
do.
like we don't encourage you to do anything outside of your high school.
Right.
In fact,
Right.
the main reason we work on Sundays exclusively
Right.
is we don't want to interfere with anything you're doing with your high school. And
Right.
then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we work later in the day so we can give you a chance to finish up with your high school if you want to come get extra work. So, I mean, some high school coaches may tell you different about Trench Mob because they don't like us very much, but in some places. But it's all add-ons. You know, Trench Mob is a platform that is built for college readiness. Like we're the
Yeah, that's
platform,
100%. I
you know,
mean,
like we want you to come with us and
you're
do
giving them.
one-on-ones all year. So now when you get to June, I'm sorry, and you go to University of Georgia or Georgia Tech or Georgia State or Kennesaw, it's not your first time doing
Right.
one-on-ones. You know, so when you do, everybody knows how important one-on-ones are. You
That's
know, you can go
everything.
through camp and look terrible in drills, but if you want to have your one-on-one reps, you know,
You're
you're
off.
probably gonna get the offer. You know, so we're basically we're going around the country, going against all the top guys that we can find, and preparing these guys so when they do get in front of Coach Scott at Georgia, or do get in front of Coach Jeep Wade or Coach Pope, you know, over at Georgia Tech, that they can really do their thing and and be get those offers.
And I know you mentioned that you have around 55 guys involved in Trench Mob. Do 55 guys end up being able to compete, or is there a select group that competes?
No, so we have like Sunday's event. We'll have about, I think we'll have about 3 teams, and then
Yep.
we'll have a middle school team. So each team consists of 15 people. So we'll have 45 guys on 3 high school teams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then we'll have about 15 guys on the middle school team. So at this camp, we'll have 60 guys alone at this camp, plus all
Amazing.
the rest of the other teams that are coming in. So man, it's easy. Like I know we said 100 plus linemen, but there's going to easily be 150, if not 175 linemen at this camp on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can see because the responses that we've been getting to the ad that the video that you put out has been tremendous.
And you know
Um,
how it is, man. And Brandy will tell you, um, we got about 55 guys that we see on Sundays,
yeah,
but when we have camps, you see guys that you've never seen before, and they'll show
no,
up.
I'm
It's
sure,
camp
right?
season. So now they got to come out and show what they can do in Georgia. But I mean, consistently, we have between, 30 and 50 guys out there.
I mean, because especially some of the older high school coaches, are kind of set in their ways and set in the techniques that they teach. I mean, do they clash with you sometimes over what you're teaching them over opposed to what they want taught?
So I'll be honest. We've never had that.
Oh,
Honestly,
good.
I mean, the biggest thing is they don't want them there, and the biggest reason why they don't want them there is they think that we're a recruiting service.
Which you're
They
not.
think that we're a
Yes.
service that gets in bed with certain schools and say, hey, you should go to Duluth because we're over here, or you should go to Brookwood, or you should go to South Gwinnett. And it's not that at all, man. In fact,
No.
Coach Chris and Brandon will tell you, I encourage kids to stay where they are. I went to Towers High School, you know, as considered one of the worst high schools in Georgia. Coach Chris went to Towers High School.
Right.
Me and him had plenty of opportunity to transfer and go to Stevenson and go to Tucker and go to schools that were much more higher rated. And we may have been there's no may into it. We would have been much higher rated had we went
Had
to,
you.
those bigger schools. But, we decided to do what they call get it out of the mud, and stay in the urban neighborhoods and at the urban schools that didn't have the resources, didn't have the weight rooms, didn't have the platform. Nobody even took stats at my school.
Right.
So, we didn't have film. I got recruited a lot off other people's film. So
Right. Right. Right.
so I tell the kids, like, you write your own path, because if you're a good player, they're gonna find you. Like, you got guys that play 1-8
That's very
football.
true.
They go to University of Alabama, you know,
Yeah.
University of Georgia, and they don't have the resources that the kids have at Grayson, or Gainesville or Beaufort. But they're just as good as player. And the player at Beaufort or Grayson or Gainesville, his path is definitely going to be a lot easier than the player at Towers. But if the player at Towers is a dog,
Yeah.
they're going to find him.
We got asked several questions about this, and Coach Chris and Julius, you both can speak to this. Several parents and even coaches wanted to know what you think and how the NIL and transfer portal is affecting high school kids because they're worried obviously that high school kids are going to get less opportunities than they have in the past because of the transfer portal, and then obviously with the NIL component with it, they were just curious if kids, especially the top recruits that you have approached you about NIL opportunities or possibly working with an agency. How involved and how have you dealt with that?
I guess I can jump in first, Chris.
Yeah.
Um, so with the portal and the new rule changes and with money being involved, I'll give you an example. We have a kid right now, and I'm pretty sure his dad and he won't mind me talking about him. Ahmad Dortch. Ahmad Dortch is one of the best edge guys that I've seen when it just comes to pure athleticism. You
Right.
know, but he has a lot of growth. There's a lot of things that he does well.
So he's
There's a lot
raw.
of, and he's raw. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
10 years ago, a raw product like Ahmad Dortch would have 30 offers right now,
100%.
because you can see the potential.
You would be able to
You know what I
mold him
mean? So
and
most
develop
coaches,
him.
like when I was coming out, when you came out, when Chris came out, Coach Edsel, they recruited guys off potential. You
Yeah.
know, I can see what he's going to be. You may be a defensive end, and he can see you as a linebacker, or a linebacker, and vice versa. He can see you as a DN, or they know once you come in, you get into a college program, you gain some weight, you lift some weights, you're going to be ready in maybe 2 or 3 years. Like these days with the portal and the money that's going out in these guys, you got to be ready right now. Like they don't want to offer a high school guy. I talk to college coaches all the time, and especially your P3 coaches. They don't want to offer you unless they feel like you can come in and there's a possibility that you won't have to redshirt. There's a possibility that you can come in and compete for a spot
They
right
don't
now.
want to.
So
Wow.
it's
They
kind
don't
of
want you to
yeah, it's
redshirt.
killing spots for guys. Like if you're a guy that's a potential guy or not quite ready, you
Right.
have to get ready as soon as possible. So like that same guy, my Dortch, that I was just talking about, and Coach Chris and Coach Jordan and Coach Mike always work on me. They say he's my favorite guy. But you know, I'm having conversations with him now. Like, look, man, if you're going to get those offers, everybody likes you, but you got to show them that you're more ready. You got to be more physical this spring. You gotta, you gotta win 90% of your, your reps in practice when they come and see you, because they need to determine that you're ready to come out and play high school football and play college football in
Yeah.
2027. If you're a 2026 kid, they need to know that in 2027 you're going to be ready to play college football. And if they don't deem you as that, then you're not going to get those offers. You're going to, and now you got a guy that may have been a P5 prospect or a G5 prospect, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. He's now a D2 prospect, NAIA prospect, has to go to junior college, because those are the places where guys are now, filling out, gaining weight, lifting weights, getting that experience, and then they're coming up later.
Right. What about you, Coach Chris? What are your thoughts on all this with the
So
NIL and the transfer portal?
yeah, so definitely, it just reflects of what coaching in football is nowadays. I remember, like Coach would say, you can rely on your potential or your athleticism. But now they got kids getting trained at 4 and 5 years old, and they, you know what I mean, and so the learning curve is changed, and nowadays, like you said, they high school products are expected to be finished products, and some of these high school coaches are coaching them at a college level, so it's almost like a trickle down effect where now colleges don't have time to develop you. You almost should have got your development in your high school years, and now you should be
Yeah.
almost ready to compete
Yeah.
when you step onto a college field, and it's actually affecting not just the power, like it's affecting all of them. So now the I guess you would say the D1 double A, I don't even say that, the FCS schools,
Yeah.
they're gonna be changing now, because now they're gonna be the ones that you can develop at those levels and then go to the Power Five levels if you're good enough. So it's just about knowing how to navigate the changing climate of college football.
Right. So you see potentially kids starting off at a Division One FCS school
Oh,
and
definitely.
then developing and then having a chance to go to FBS.
Yeah.
Just see, man, you got coaches, not to cut you off, Chris, but you got
No.
coaches that are recruiting kids. And I'm talking to coaches, and they're telling me, tell him if he comes here, he's probably not going to be here long. You know, I've never heard that up until 2 years ago.
He's
From
not
a,
going to
from
be here
another
long.
Division 1 school, like a part of their recruiting tool is to tell you that you're not going to have to stay here. You can come
Yeah.
in here and you can have an opportunity to go to the SEC, to go to the ACC, to go to the Big Ten. If you come in here and do a good job. So when conversations are being had in that manner, it's some shit going on. You know what I mean? To where now you almost have to beg a guy to come to your school to be there for a couple years, because you say, hey, you're going to come here and play rather than go to Alabama and have to sit on the bench for 2 years. You know what I mean? So you can come here and then you can always get up. And I've even heard coaches say you're going to be able to get more NIL money after you leave here than you would get out of high school.
Because you're someone they look up to and a mentor. Uh, what guidance do you offer parents through this process? With recruiting, Division One, with FCS, FBS. Especially if they're frustrated with not getting the offers that they think they should get, or the offers that they want, or not getting any offers at all. How do you kind of console them and guide them through the process and how they should handle it?
I myself, I tell parents, man, look, you get out what you put in. So the parents have just as much of play and involvement in recruiting as the kids. If you're a parent that doesn't want to get your son a trainer, you can't expect your son to go out there and do the things that the parents who are getting the sons trainers. If you're too lazy or to take your sons to college camps, you can't expect him to, get that experience and get seen by those college coaches if you're not willing to invest and sacrifice. Because let's be honest, nobody's just walking around rich right now. Like it's parents that can barely pay their rent, but they still have trainers. They can barely afford food, but they're still, we've had parents tell us, look, coach, I didn't even pay the rent this month, but we flew to California because we knew my son would get an opportunity. So you're a parent that's, not willing to go that extra mile to get your son training. And we see it all the time, like, um, and Brandon can tell you as well, even though she's not really a football coach, but the people who we see the most are the people who do the best. Like our highest rated guy, Zayden Walters, I can't
Yes.
tell you the last time he's missed a practice. Like I
Yeah.
can't tell you the last time that he's not worked out during the week. And then you have parents that may be a little bit jealous of what he's doing or the attention that he's getting, especially from coaches, you
Yeah.
know. But he's earned that. Another kid, Bryson Hurt, he's probably our second highest rated guy. He rarely misses. He's there every Sunday. And he's working hard. So these guys are their parents who are spending time. I mean, their parents are not, rich by any mean or have a
No,
lot
but
of
they're
money or
investing
driving
in the
Benzes
kid.
and Bentleys, but they're coming out and sacrificing, and their
Yeah.
sons are reaping the benefits. And then you have other guys that have tons of potential, but you don't see them as much, and
Right.
they never pan out. And they maybe could have been a P5 guy, or maybe could have been a
Absolutely.
G5 guy, but they go D2 because they simply just don't put the work in that
Yeah.
the other guys are putting in.
Yeah, you definitely gotta put in the work, and it's an investment. You gotta invest in yourself.
All right. Who's this big man here?
So this is Travis Young, and the
Oh,
thing about
Travis Young. Okay.
Travis Swamp Thing Young,
The Swamp
because
Thing. I
because
love the
Swamp Thing,
nicknames you come up
Swamp
with.
Thing. Yeah. So Travis is a converted basketball player. So Travis, I just framed
Oh,
him yesterday. So Travis had never touched a football before this time last year. He came
wow.
out and began to work with us. He played basketball his whole life, and we just wasn't satisfied with the way basketball recruiting was going because he's seeing all of his buddies getting offered by these higher schools, and he kind of wasn't getting offered. He's a big man in basketball, but he's only
Yeah.
6'5".
Yeah. It's
So I'm
tough
like,
in
hey man, it's
basketball.
gonna be hard to play center or power
Right.
forward at 6'5",
Absolutely.
but you could certainly be a big defensive end or a big D tackle, and he's done nothing but
Absolutely.
come in and work since then. And I mean, he's a guy that's really shined as of late, and definitely wanted to highlight him.
Is he the one from Columbia?
No. So he's from he actually was at Duluth, and
Oh,
now he just
okay.
transferred to South Gwinnett High School.
South Gwinnett. Okay. Wow, that is definitely a wingspan. He is a big boy. Oh, come on. You're telling me this kid never played football before?
You never played football before
How long
last
have
year.
you worked with him?
Yeah, before this time last year, man, he had never touched the sport.
Jesus. Jesus. Oh my God. That is an incredible swim.
Yeah, he's
Push
big
pull,
and
arm
long and
over.
strong, man. Big, long, and
Wow.
strong, no Diddy.
Is he playing three tech here? Is he at three technique here?
Yeah, three tech, yeah. So he
Jeez.
plays three tech and nose for us.
My good God.
Twitching.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
This
he's
kid played basketball his whole life?
played basketball his whole life up until this time last year.
God damn it. You know what, Julius? You may be a miracle worker. I don't know. This is ridiculous. Beautiful two-arm swipe. The guy doesn't he can't even get out of his stance, and he's by him.
Wow.
Knocks his hands down. Great job. Jesus. Oh, he just takes the inside. That's just
Yeah, he's going to be a stud, man. I got predictions that he's going to play P5 football
I
because
would agree with you.
the good thing about him, man, is he came on late. So a lot of times, some of these guys that play football, since they're 4 years old, they get very, very bad coaching.
They do. They
And,
develop bad
and you
habits.
play for so
100%.
long with those terrible, terrible habits, from these guys who don't know anything about football, who just, watch football on TV and play Madden and come out and think they can emulate it. So, you know, so now, he's been getting the right coaching from guys like me and Coach Mack and Coach Chris,
Yes.
Coach Jordan, Coach Jarrett, Coach Ant, and now he can go out and learn things the right way and catch on very quickly. And I'm telling you, man, we're going to look up and he's going to be at somewhere like Florida State or something like that.
I wholeheartedly agree. This is just so smart on his part. He recognizes the set by the offensive lineman. He opens up. He gets to head up on him, which you never want to do as an offensive lineman. You always want to trail to the inside. He gets to head up, opens the gate naturally. Thank you. Bye. Wow. He is something. Now he's wide. Takes it again, and he lined up wider. He lined up wider, and he still got it. Jesus. He's so good with his hands. So good with his hands. So good at knocking down the punch, not letting anyone get his hands on him. Oh my God, that guy wanted nothing to do with him. He takes his pass set. He's 3 yards downfield before 1, 2, 3. He don't even make contact with him till he's 4 yards downfield, and he turns his shoulders. Wow, great spin at the end.
Ooh.
They want nothing to do with him. They want absolutely nothing to do. Oh, he jumps at him, knocks his hands down. Excellent. Tries to jump set him. Great. Come inside. Done. Party over. Great recognition. Julius, I mean, is there a drill or something you do that, allows them to recognize the pass sets faster?
So I'm not a drill guy.
Yeah, I know. It's just about getting reps. I agree with you.
Yeah, so our marketing director, Mike Suarez, he's on my butt a lot, man. He's always like, hey man, your drills are boring. You're not I can't film this for internet. We can't put
Right.
this on Twitter because I teach more concepts. Like I teach everything starts with speed.
Yes. Yep.
You can speed and you can get to parallel. You don't need to do any much else. But if you're in a trail state, like you guys just talked about, now you got to sell. And
Yes.
you sell based upon the person. If you got a mauler, he's gonna jump you. So you got to get rid of his hands quick. So it's more of a double swipe or a lift and chop, or a
Yes.
cross chop. If you got, more of a tweener, you got to freeze them. So you flash power and get lateral. If you got more of a athlete, you got to pause them just so you can get the edge again. So,
Exactly.
we work those concepts. We do the same thing every Sunday. We may do it a slightly different, but, my concepts and teaching never change.
Well, it shows because you can tell that your guys have a plan coming out of their stance every play. I mean, it looks like they have a plan of what they want to do every play, which is good. There's no guesswork. They know what they're going to go with. I like the one arm stab right there. I mean, that's just child abuse. Jeez. Oh my God. I mean, nobody gets their hands on him, and people are just afraid of him. People are afraid of him, and he's a legit 6'5".
Yeah, man, he's all of 6'5", man. He's 6'5" and thick. Like even before he got with us, I told him, look, man, you're already built like a D tackle. Like you look like a D lineman playing basketball.
Yeah.
Already, So I think it was a natural transition, man, in basketball. What I told him, it's like going to the rack, but out here you can use your hands. In basketball, I played basketball in high school. If I could have stiff armed people as I went to the rec, I would have scored 30, 40 points a game, you know.
Right.
So being able to be playing basketball and going to the rec and being able to be violent at the same time with your hands, you know, that's all pass rush is. So, and he's starting to get it, man, and he's picking up. We had a kid
Yeah,
last year,
I think
Kanan
he's got
Edwards.
it.
Yeah, we had a kid, Kanan Edwards, last year who was in the same boat, man. First year playing football as a junior, and Kanan ended up getting like 25 offers, and now he's at Rutgers. So, you know, I imagine that Travis is going to be the same way.
Yeah, I think so too. And what's amazing is, I mean, if I were watching these kids, I would think there would be 2025 kids, and they're all 2026 kids. So the fact that they have 2 more years of eligibility, that's just going to be absolutely scary for what they're going to become. And you guys are doing a phenomenal job coaching them and coaching them at such a high level that most high school coaches don't get to or don't know. So that's what makes such a difference, and that's what sets your group apart from everyone else. So you have the camp on Sunday. It's going to be. It starts at 9 o'clock. You think it'll end by 11 or 1?
Oh yeah, we'll definitely be done by 1 o'clock.
By
You
1. That's
know,
what it was. Okay.
so we had to get out there, man, to get these guys looks, man. You know what I mean? Like we got guys
Yes.
coming from all over. You know, we got Under the Radar, which is a huge platform that's gonna be there. You got other writers, 24/7 Sports, and other recruit any
Oh, that's huge.
VA. You got recruit Georgia. You got lots of people that have been contacted about the event. That are gonna be there.
Beautiful.
You got your personnel that's gonna be there. And these kids have a great opportunity, man. And I do want to say, I know we got Brandy here. She hasn't talked a lot, but she one thing the reason I wanted her here, man, is me and Coach Chris do a wonderful job of coaching these kids, as well as Coach Jordan, Coach Jared, Coach Ant, Coach Mack. Coach Mike does a great job of filming it. You wouldn't be able to show it right now if it weren't for Coach Mike. But Brandy is the true glue,
You are the
to the
glue.
to the
Yes.
organization, man. She sets everything up on the back end. Now, we had a Zoom call last night, and Brandy could not get on, and I had no clue how to answer any questions because as a CEO, I'm able to take a back seat and go on cruise control, when
Yeah.
it comes to those type of things. Like I didn't even know how much the camp cost, you know, because
Yeah.
I'm not, in that. So I mean I
Yeah.
would love for her to kind of explain if not to put her on the spot. I'm sorry, but her role, as far as when it comes to trench mob and setting things on the back end, she deals with unruly parents,
I'm sure
you
she
know,
does.
and she's, just people who don't want to do the right thing, don't want to pay, don't want to, you know what I mean?
No.
So,
Yeah.
she's definitely like, without her, man, this would definitely not be, I tell people all the time, I'm just a pretty face,
You are a pretty
and
face.
my mom and dad
I'll
did,
admit
did a
that.
great job, putting this face
Nah,
together. But
there
but I
you
could
go.
not do, what we do, and Coach Chris could not do what he does, and Jordan and all the rest of the coaches without her. So if she could, kind of explain her role a little bit to everybody, so they can know who run things behind the scene and the reason, that we flow the way we do.
Well, Brandy, we 100% appreciate everything you do and your contribution to the Trench Mob because it shows. It runs seamlessly. You have a great program, a great foundation, and it's such an exciting time for the Trench Mob for the season and getting to go all over and compete in camps and compete against the best and just it just feels good to go out and dominate. So you're doing everything right, and that's a testament to the entire team, Julius, that you put together. Coach Chris, outstanding job as well with the offensive line and your contributions. When you get good people like that who care, who check their egos at the door and are working for a common goal, man, that's tough to do. That's really tough to do. And you know, from an outsider's point of view, I just see that you put the kids first, and that's so important that the kids are coming first. You're doing everything you can to help them, and it's only going to get bigger and it's only going to get better. So I'm really, really excited for you. I'm excited for the camp on Sunday. When's your next camp after that?
The camp after that, we're going to Ohio
You're going to
on
Ohio. Okay.
April the 6th. And
Okay.
a unique thing, Steve, that you just talked about, and I know I said I was going to let Brandy talk, but I'm still talking. But I know we didn't get a chance, or we may not have. I know we don't have but so long. But the kids, Antonio and Chris, the other kids I sent you, those kids come from a place called Columbia High School.
Yes, that's what I saw.
Yeah, Columbia High School is in Decatur, Georgia, where I'm
Okay.
from. So there's not many coaches, that want to deal with kids, from the urban areas. You know what I mean?
No,
Because
I
they
get that.
determined that these kids, from the urban. I was from an urban area, so I know from experience. And a lot of college coaches, they kind of stay away. But you know, we've been able to bring these kids on the road, and I know when we do get a chance to show these kids are studs, man. And for most programs, most trainers, they look for kids that can afford to pay thousands and thousands of dollars, to be a part of a program. But like these kids are true studs. Chris is a 27 kid, and Antonio is a 26 kid. And we'll probably show them next show. If we don't have
Beautiful.
time this show. But man, those kids are studs, man. And we look for diamonds in the rough. Columbia High School is a school in Decatur, Georgia. Shout out to Coach Greg Barnett, man. He's a good long-term friend of mine. I reached out to him and was like, hey, man, we need dogs. Can you send me some dogs? So and I was like, man, it doesn't matter. We'll find sponsors for them and, get them going. But man, they come along and they both are starting spots with us. And when I tell you, man, oh man, these kids can really, really play. If we have time, I would love to show kind of a little bit of them after Brandon gives her spiel. If we can. I'm not gonna let her off the hook.
Oh
Go
man.
go right ahead, Brandy.
Um, I guess what I do is just kind of make things happen. Julius and the other coaches have a lot of great ideas. To get out in the community and help these guys with, their skills and visibility. And so they throw out these ideas and they come, what do you think? And it's my job to figure out how to make it happen the best way possible. So it's not always easy. A lot of trial and error, a lot of back and forth. We've been doing this for several years now. So we've grown a lot and we're able to do things like we are this Sunday. Very excited about this camp because there's a lot of, thought that has gone into the planning process of it to make it one of the best events in Atlanta. And we want everybody to enjoy that experience. So that's it. It's just my job to figure out a way to make it happen the best way possible, and to do my part in contributing to the success of these young guys as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and you guys all are definitely doing that. And I am just thrilled that these kids are getting this attention and they're going to have the opportunity to succeed and get scholarship offers. And, they're learning from the best. Julius, what I would do is if you have a just a free day next week, I'll do it with you any day you want, just so I can give them more time to showcase them. So
Right.
I want to make sure just pick four guys and we'll showcase them So I don't want to shortchange them, especially if they're that good.
For sure, for sure.
Because you said you're free Tuesday at 10, right?
Yeah, Bobby Free. Get on Dave's show, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
book
So
you
it's
on Dave's show,
yeah, okay.
and then if you have time Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever you want, just we'll show those two kids and pick two more kids, and we'll go through them. I just don't want to shortchange them now. I want to make sure they get a good look
No, for sure,
because I
man.
mean,
No, we appreciate you, Steve, man. I mean, people, and I'll say this now on our show, but people don't understand how big time you guys are, man. So,
yeah,
like you and Dave, man, for you guys to take the time to come and help us with our show. I mean, you guys have a network with over 1 million subscribers, man. So you
yeah,
guys don't have
yeah.
to come over here and be with little old trench mob and help us out on Fridays, man. So I definitely want to say thank you, man. You've been a tremendous help, man, to us and getting the word out there and, getting our camp out, man. So I definitely want to send a big shout out to, you and Dave Schumann, man, for jumping right in the trenches with us, man, and helping us get this thing done.
No, us UConn guys, we got to stick together. And I can tell you, you have right now 1,200 people watching this show. We usually don't get 1,200 people watching live, so you got a great viewership, and it just keeps building. So just I have it on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Just have your kids share it. It's getting bigger and bigger by the week. Um, for 5 episodes, I've never had a show grow as fast as this has. So I really think that we have something here, and something people enjoy watching, and something that kids enjoy watching. So the more kids that we can expose and feature, and give them opportunities, let's do it. Just let me know during the week when you have some time and you want to do another show. We'll showcase them because you got plenty of kids. My God, the freaking kid played basketball his whole life and he's running by people. So yeah, I'd be happy. I'd be happy to do that. And especially since you got a couple weeks off before the next camp, we can do more before that, before you go to Ohio. So thank you again, Coach Chris. It was a pleasure meeting you. I think you're doing a fantastic job, and Julius and Brandy, obviously, a phenomenal job. And I just have to thank our other sponsor, Ned Von Young, Fresh himself. He has the Fresh Fold Laundry Company in Carborough, North Carolina. They have incredible services. You can book your machines online. They have a subscription model, weekly or bi weekly, where you can go in and wash your clothes. And they also wash, dry, and fold your clothes at Land Speed Records. They offer deals to college students in the area, just outside of Chapel Hill. If you go to UNC, Duke, or NC Charlotte, check out Fresh Fold Laundry for so many specials and offers. And you can go to their website, which is freshfold-laundry.com. And I am Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at life.